Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So what we're going to do in this one, we finished up our indicator and our count method right there to indicate when a person have a notification. Now what we want to do in this one is we want to be able to display their notifications in a window right here. So I will use the Windows, the user right here, this little section. We're going to use this as a template for our notifications. Right, so what we want to do now is we need to create a route for dashboard notifications. Okay, right, so we're going to create a route right there, and we want to use it to be able to have a little button or check mark to mark it as read, so that if I click the mark as read, it needs to update this field right here, and the notification count right there needs to be updated as well. So there needs to be a listener for the indicator to update the count method right there. Right, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to create a route. We're going to work on our index for our notifications and our component. So there's quite a lot to do, right? And we obviously have to update the view right here for notifications and the notifications to be displayed right here. Right, so this will be a little bit of a longer video, so bear with us. Right, so let's quickly get into it. Right, so I got my Livewire component open, and the first thing that I want to do, I'm not going to work on the component yet. I want to set up the route to get to this component. All right, so let's open up our web route. So, okay, right, so we open up our web route right here. Okay, so what we can do, let's just copy the replies one down. Okay, so this one is going to be for our dashboard, and I'm just going to change this to dashboard. And this one to dashboard as well. Okay. And this is going to be notifications. This dashboard like that. All right. So I want to create another group inside that group. So copy and paste it inside there. And I'm just going to copy the end. All right. So I can just delete this part right now. All right. So I created two groups. Okay. I created my dashboard group, and I created inside the dashboard group, I'm going to create that notifications group. Notifications like this. All right. So now we got two groups. Okay. Just want to make sure we got our threads. All right. So this is now our dashboard.notifications. Okay. So I'm just going to copy any route right here. Let me just copy this get route, this one. I'm just going to do copy and paste. You can do the same just to speed up because we've got quite a lot to do. So just pause the video right here. Just make sure you spell everything correctly. Otherwise, you might get simple errors that is basically just spelling mistakes and things. Okay. So now we got our notifications right group right here. And I'm just going to put this as notifications. All right. So it will basically be / dashboard notifications, like we just, because it's inside that group right there. Right, we haven't obviously created the controller yet, so let's quickly create that controller. So open up your terminal. So open up your terminal. Right, and we're just going to create a controller, PHP artisan make controller. Right, and the controller must be, I'm going to create a folder. So let me just show you app HTTP controllers. As you can see, we've got our admin and pages. Now I want to create a new folder in there for dashboard. Okay, and then dashboard, and I'm going to call this notification controller. Okay, that's why I kind of left this one to be on its own, because there's quite a lot to do. All right, so now we've got our notification controller right here. And I want to create a method to determine if the user is authenticated. Pardon me there. if we want to determine if the user is authenticated or not, right here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a public function. Let me just do this public function, and we're going to create a construct method, right? And this is going to return this middleware, and it will just be authenticate class, right? So as you can see, it brings out that middleware right there. We just pass it through like this. And obviously the other one that I want to do, I want the user to be able to say email must actually be verified as well. So email is verified. Ensure email is verified class. Okay, so now the user must be authenticated and the email must be verified before they can access this controller right here. Right, so let me just make sure that I close it off with a semicolon. Now the next thing that I want to do, I just want to return an index method like this, and then we're going to return a view. Okay, the view will basically now be dashboard dot notifications dot index. Okay, I kind of stick with the convention, so if someone comes through the code, they can more or less see the structure of how I designed the code. Right, so the next thing, as you can see, we've got our controller now all set up. Now the next part is to return this view right here. As you can see, this view doesn't exist because there's no underline in there if you have the extensions. Okay, so next thing, if we go to our resources views, we're going to create a new folder, right, and we call it dashboard. Okay? And inside there is a new file, no, new folder, sorry, and we can create folder applications. Inside that, we're going to create obviously the index. New file, index.blade.php. Okay. So as you can see, now it's underlined and we actually can go right there. Right, this index view right here, what I'm going to do is if we go to our, show you something. Go to your web browser. You will see that with the default template, I created a couple of routes just to return views. And that view that I was talking about is under your page controller, right? If we go there, you will see it's under admin users.index. So, okay. So let's go there quickly. You see this table right here, everything in here. Okay. We're going to use this as a template for our notifications. Right. So just copy everything inside that folder. Right, so obviously need to change a couple of things, and now go to that notification index, notification controller, dashboard index, and just paste it in there, and just change the heading to be notifications. Even if the content inside is still just hard-coded template stuff, just so that we know we're at the right place. Okay, so notifications like that, right? So if I'm moving a little bit fast, what I've done is in your admin, in your views, you will see you will have a users file right there. The index, just copy everything and copy it inside your dashboard notifications.index and just change the header to notifications right there. Okay, so all of this did come with the template. So if you download the template, you can obviously just download the zip file or you can clone it from GitHub. Okay. Now, the next part that we want to do, if we go to our web route, now we need to bring in that controller. Because you see, I've copied and pasted it. Now I need to make sure that I actually bring in my actual notification controller. Right, so I'm just going to change this to the notification. I'm bringing it in. Right, so once you typed in your notification controller, just make sure you import it at the top. It's Control Alt and I, and then you can just click on that and you just bring it in. Right, so I'm obviously just going to change this to be the index. Okay, so now we've got our controller all set up in here. Right, so if the person now comes to this route, this dashboard notifications.index, it will go to this route right here and it will return this view right here. Okay. Right, so what we want to do now is we need to set it. So let me just close that off. Right, so we got that all set up. Now the next part is we need to actually have a link in our dashboard to go to this route right here. Right, so let's go to our index. Let's just do this. Resources. Let me just show you how to get it. Resources, views, layouts under your app layout. Right, under your app layout, we will have the dashboard nav, the main nav on top, and then we will have the site navigation right there. You click to go to the next start navigation. All right, then you will see we got our dashboard right here. We got the dashboard title, we got the profile link, and then we got the users link. Let me just show you in the browser what I mean. Pardon me if I'm moving a little bit fast because there's quite a lot to do. And right, so as you can see, this is what I'm referring to. So what I want to do is I want to create a new link in the dashboard category right there for notifications. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Right, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to copy down the users right here. Okay, just copy it down. Right, and inside this, I'm just going to change this to be the users. I'm just going to change that to be the dashboard dot notifications dot index. Right, remember this is the route that we created right here. So dashboard, then inside that there's a group notification, and inside that group is the index right there. That's what I'm referring to here. Right, and I'm just obviously going to change this to be the notifications. All right, the icon right here I want to change to be the bell icon. Right, so I want it to be that bell icon. So in your, let's go to Livewire. Livewire notifications indicator. It's got that zone icon for the bell outline, the notification. I'm just going to copy that one. Okay, then I'm just going to paste it in this. Okay. Now, as you can see, we got our notifications right here. So if I click this button, I'm supposed to go to the dashboard notifications. All right. Now I'm going to dashboard notifications. Right. So that's a bit of a problem. Right. As you can see, I'm fixing it here. I double because the prefix is notifications. I just need to go to the / right there. Right. So if anyone noticed that error, congratulations. All right, as you can see, the authenticate class needs to have an E. That's why I'm getting that error, just to kind of reference that. All right, so let's quickly go back and see if it works. All right, so if I click notifications, I'm supposed to go to notifications. As you can see, we get to the notifications part right there. And obviously, this is hard-coded. So we're obviously going to update this with our Livewire component. All right, so let's go back. Right, so we're now in our notifications index that returned from our controller. Let me just close this off. In our notification controller, we're returning this right here. Okay, so now what I want to do, you see everything inside that section right there. Just copy it now. Okay, so this is the section right there. Just copy everything in there, or I'm just going to cut it out. Then I'm going to paste that in my resources view Livewire notifications index. Okay, then I'm pasting it in there. Okay, because I want my Livewire component to actually be having the data and displaying it in front. Right, so let me just go here. Now, in this section right here, I'm actually now going to reference that Livewire notification index like this. I'm just obviously just adding a closing tag, otherwise my editor have it. Let me just do it like this. Livewire index. Okay. Just so that when my eye goes over the text, it can easily see it. Right. So that's kind of now all the data in between our section right here, needs to be this Livewire component. Okay. So I'm just leaving us some space so that you guys can just see it for yourself. Leave it like this. Okay. So let's go back to the browser and see if it actually returns from the component itself. But so let me just put it up here, just in bold caps, Livewire component. Okay. Just to make sure and that it comes from here. Now, as you can see, it's displaying the Livewire component right there. Okay. So what I want to do, let's break this up in another section so that we can actually, otherwise I'm going to speed up the next part as well. And that's not preferable because I can explain a little bit more if I have more time. Okay. Because people don't like long videos. So what I want to do in the next one, we're going to work on actually our Livewire index component. For this one, is just to set it up to get to this part right here. Okay. So the next one, I can actually explain things in more detail as we progress right there. So now we got our Livewire component set up right there. So yeah. Right, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you don't, please give it a dislike. I'm not offended by it. That's just for me honest feedback. If someone doesn't like something and they give you honest feedback, it's always good. And yes, if you do dislike it, please, if you can, just leave us feedback to let me know why you think it's not good. I really want to improve my videos, give you guys some useful things that you can use in your own applications as well. All right, and I enjoy making these videos for you guys. And yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we'll be working on our Livewire component. All right, thank you guys, and see you in the next one. Cheers. Adios.